Hi folks, welcome to the channel. My name is Colin, call sign MM0OPX. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at something you've probably seen before, and that's my ICOM IC-705 Go Box, which I happen to have right here. So I took delivery of the 705 not long after it was released here in the UK. It was kind of arrived here on the Wednesday, and by the following Monday I had it delivered. And then I really kind of treated the radio with kid gloves because it was expensive, and also because it was new. I had it wrapped in, took it out in a bag, and I had it wrapped in bubble wrap. But I thought I need to get this radio kind of packaged up and protected for taking out. Now, I'm not the type of operator that's doing SOTA. Certainly at the minute I have done SOTA, but it's not something I'm doing at the minute. It's more the type of parks on the air, field day activations. That's the kind of thing that I'm doing. I'm also doing a lot of antenna testing, and I need something I can just grab quick, plug an antenna in, and away you go. And the IC-705 fits the bill, just perfect for that. So I've seen people were putting their 705s into Pelican type cases. I'd had a look at some of the few of the models. I've seen a couple of Australian guys, a couple of guys in the States, but obviously I needed to source something here in the UK. I checked out what Pelican had to offer, and I do have a Pelican case which my 590 sits in, but it was almost a little bit of a gamble, but I didn't want to pay big money for an actual Pelican case. So I started looking around for cases that might fit the bill, and what I actually came up with was the Max case. Now, this case was actually made in Italy, and I'm surprised how good this is. Would I rate it as highly as a Pelican case? Well, I've not tested this and I've not dropped it in a lake, but certainly for what I'm using it for, it's ideal. It's a really solid bit of kit. So I think what we'll do is I'll set the radio out on the table, and let's have a look at it, the box, the radio, and everything that's inside it. So here's a little bit closer look of the Max case. It's an Italian made case. It's got the pressure release valve on it. The handle on it's almost like a very hard rubber. Wasn't too sure about this at first, but it seems to be fine. Underneath, it's got these little round bits, and obviously on the sides, nothing really to see. And obviously the clips on the end here to undo the box. You just lift these up. So what we'll do is, we'll do exactly that. So as I said, you'll have seen this before. So here's my 705 sitting inside the box. So I have everything needed here, with the exception of the antenna to operate SSB or CW. So these cases, obviously the top of the case comes with this kind of egg foam type stuff, and obviously we get this, I think they call this pick and pluck's kind of the generic name for this foam, and you get 2 layers of this foam. So what we'll do is we'll start taking some bits and pieces out. So everything in here is actually already plugged into the 705, which is a great thing. So all I need to do is just plug an antenna in here, turn it on, and away we go. So obviously microphone, again plugged in. I'm not using the speaker mic. I don't particularly like the speaker mic. The sound that you get from this front spacing speaker on the 705 is first class, so I tend to use that. Not to say I'm not going to use that, but at the minute it's not plugged in, just the microphone. This is obviously the DC power lead. I've actually fitted power pole connectors, which as I have in all my radios, and I've covered that in glue lined heat shrink, so that's completely solid. Underneath that, this is a memory keyer or a memory keypad. So I made this myself. I've actually made about 6 of these. Still got about 5 left, as well as this one. And basically this is just a series of momentary switches and resistors, 2 3.5 or 1/8 socket stereo sockets in parallel. So I plug my 705 into one of these. I plug my Morse paddle into the other one, and I could still use my Morse key because it plugs into the key socket or the paddle socket. And each one of these, this is 1, 2, 3 and 4, and this will trigger any memories 1 to 4 in either CW or SSB, and I think probably RTTY as well, but I've never played with RTTY on the radio. I could be wrong with that one. So the antenna socket, what I've got for that is, this is RG316, and I've used kind of top-notch gold-plated connectors in all of these. What I'll do is I'll take this out in a minute. So there's a 90 degree, so a right angle B and C connector, and I just connect my antenna to that. Down this side, there is this is a 1/8 or 3.5mm stereo jack socket. So I use this to connect my Morse paddle to the keyer. This 3.5mm jack socket is actually either goes to my Morse paddle or it goes to the keypad, and it's 90 degree on the other end, and the DC socket goes in on that side as well. So if I take the radio, you can see what I've done. So this is obviously 90 degree B and C socket, the microphone plugged in, and on the other side you could see the DC cable and the CW paddle, and then all you can see is this pick and pluck foam, or what you want to call it, pluck foam. You can see what I've done. So there's room for the 705 in the bottom, and a pocket for the keyer and the power cable, and then there's a little bit more taken out of, and these sockets here, or bits taken out, these are actually for clearance for the cables. Now I need to see if I can actually get this back in. Right, how do we do this? There we go. So that's it. I think what we can do is I'll turn the radio on. Now I actually operate the radio from inside this box. Now, to make you aware, I'm not a mic monster. I don't make a lot of contacts. I just, I'm really an antenna guy. I like to prove antennas work, but I'm not somebody that sits on the radio and chats away all day. So I've had no issues with this radio overheating. Certainly SSB, no problems whatsoever. We live in Scotland. We don't live in a hot climate. Okay, we've had a bit of a heat wave of recent, but we don't live in a hot country. So I don't find overheating a problem. Perhaps if you were somewhere a bit warmer, you may want to do something else. I've seen people make little frames for their 705s and have air vents and have fans coming in and all that kind of stuff. I don't need to do that. By not drilling any of the sides or anything like that, I'm keeping the integrity of the case. So what I'll do is, I've got this dummy load, and I'll actually connect it up. And that can just sit in there actually. So I've actually plugged my keyer in, and I plug my paddle in, I can actually show you in operation. So if I just press a button,
CQ, 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 Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray, Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray, over. CQ Pota, CQ Parks on the air, Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray.
So there we go. So that's the memory keyer working as well. If you go into CW, same again. Oops a daisy. And there we go. You can see I've got a little dodgy connection there somewhere. That's not so good. I'll need to have a look into that. So on one of these connections there must be a little dodgy connection, so I'll need to have a look at that. But you can see it in operation anyway, but it does operate, and I have had it operating through it. So if I want to use the keypad, I can plug the Padlet into it as well. And obviously it packs up quite nicely. What I'll do is I'll put a link to this case on in the description below if I can still find it. It's been a little while ago that I actually purchased this. I purchased it from Amazon, and it wasn't an expensive case. I think it was about £28, something like that. So I don't know what that is, $35, $36 in the States. Not an expensive case for a comparably a good case, I believe. But yeah, it really does the job, and I really don't worry if I take the radio out and about. You know, I just pack everything up. In fact, we'll do that now. So I'll show you packing me up kind of real time. So back with the keypad. The DC cable. Doesn't need to be perfect. Paddle back in. Takes longer to put it back in than it does to get the radio going. And for the antenna, turn the power off, that would help. I just take the antenna, I just wrap it around like that. So basically the pressure of the foam on the top keeps the antenna socket in place. There we are. And that's our 705 packed away again. Simple as that. There we are, folks. That was a little rundown of my IC-705 Go Box. I've thoroughly enjoyed using the radio like this so far. I don't get a lot of time to just play radio, and I'm testing antennas. It's great because I can just grab the radio and I plug the antenna right away, and I'm usually just using the internal battery. But yeah, it's a great little Go Box for me. I've thoroughly enjoyed using it. I don't regret spending the money on it. It wasn't a lot of money considering the cost of the radio. It's not an expensive protection, and I think it provides some very good protection for the radio. So as I said, I'll put a link to the box in the description if I can find one. It was Amazon, I said, that I purchased it from. If you've liked the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really gives me the enthusiasm to see my numbers go up and to make more content here on YouTube. 73, we'll see you in the next video.